Hey everyone, Tom Butwin here for Premier Guitar, back with another edition of Tools for the Task. Today we're checking out 6 different versions of the classic wah wah pedal. The effect of a wah-wah kind of crying sound really comes from mutes that were used by brass players in the 1920s to get that wah-wah-wah kind of sound. Eventually, guitar players wanted to emulate that. Bradley J. Plunkett in 1966 created the first wah-wah pedal, which was actually kind of an accident as he experimented with some guitar amplifier design changes he was going for. Because of the relation and similar sound that the wah-wah pedal gave a guitar when compared to a muted trumpet or trombone, Clyde McCoy, the famous American jazz trumpet player's name, was originally used to market and sell the effect, and it's still referenced today. But just realize he's not a guitar player, he's not an engineer, he's actually a trumpet player. So there's some wah history for you. We've got 6 examples today. Of course, this does not cover every wah or style of wah that could possibly be out there, but these are 6 great examples that will hopefully help you choose the type of wah pedal that is right for you. From Xotic Effects, we've got the XW-2 wah, and the name of the game with this is minimal fuss, minimal tweaking. Just plug it in and play, and you're gonna get a really high quality classic 70s style wah tone without having to make any adjustments at all. But you can make adjustments on the pedal if you want. You can open up the case and adjust that filter peak with a control in there, and you can also adjust the tension of the rocking mechanism itself. As far as a footprint, this is a slightly smaller case than your typical wah, which is cool. It's not mini though, so it does help with real estate on a pedal board. The other thing I really like is that there's an LED on the toe of the pedal that lets you know if it's on or off. Inside of the pedal also, you've got custom wound pots, inductors, and circuitry, as well as true bypass for your signal chain. From Dunlop, we have a Crybaby wah pedal, but not just any Crybaby. This is a collaboration with Daredevil, and it is actually 2 pedals in one, essentially. You get the traditional Crybaby classic wah sound, but in addition to that, with this baseball bat switch over there, you get a fuzz wah sound as well. Each one of these is hand built. Inside of the pedal, you do have adjustments for the intensity of the fuzz when you have it in fuzz mode, and also the overall output of the pedal, so you can absolutely customize this even more to your tastes. As with any Crybaby, you can power it with a 9-volt battery or an external power supply. And talk about versatile and super cool. From McCon-O-Wah, we have the McWah 2B. This is built by hand, custom built by Michael at McCon-O-Wah, and this aims to take all of the incredible sounds and characteristics of our favorite vintage wahs and take it into the next stratosphere. This has a custom designed pot from CTS that Michael designed with them to attempt to solve that kind of issue that goes with most wah pedals where you have some unusable parts of that frequency sweep. Not so with the McWah 2B. You've got a non-linear, fully usable and really pleasing sounding frequency sweep as you rock the pedal back and forth. It's that middle section that is sometimes just really sweet but too small. They've expanded that here, so there's a ton more to play with in that really vocal wah sounding area of a wah pedal, which is where we all like to live, but sometimes you don't have a lot of real estate in that part of the frequency sweep. A couple of other things you're going to notice about this pedal: it has one of the most rock solid cases I have ever felt. This thing, I'm absolutely certain I could stand on it with no problem. I'm not going to jump on it, but I feel like you probably could because this thing is built like a tank. Also, as you rock the pedal back and forth, you're going to notice that because of the case design, you actually get an extra little, I think it's about 3/16 of an inch of throw. So it gives a more tactile way to use that extra middle section that they've built into the pot on this. So just both in the tone category as well as the physical portion of this pedal, they've really optimized everything that a wah pedal can be. Everything is hand wired in these pedals. Nothing is outsourced. It's all done right at their custom shop. It's got an adjustable tension to the pedal throw, so you can customize that feel to your playing style. True bypass, of course, battery power, as well as a modern 9-volt power supply jack on the side of this pedal. And this is really just it's kind of the pinnacle of the wah pedal. It takes everything you would hope that a vintage wah would be and then takes it into the next century and into the future by solving some of the problems that those original wahs had and giving you a wah, probably the last wah pedal you're ever gonna need to buy. Not to mention, it sounds great. From Dunlop, we have the JC95 FFS. This is a Jerry Cantrell signature wah pedal. It's a limited edition Firefly, so you've got some glow in the dark elements, lyrics from Jerry's song Brighten on the back. But most importantly, when you have an effect like a wah that is so iconic, there's generally a few songs or a few players that you might associate with that effect. And Jerry Cantrell, of course, is one of those, both as a solo artist as well as his time in Alice in Chains. So if you're looking for a wah to get you close to those types of tones, this is one of the wahs you can choose from because Jerry has a couple different custom and signature wah pedals through Dunlop. Now, this one in particular is going to give you a darker wah tone than most wah pedals. It's a little bit fatter on the bottom end, and when you are all the way up in the toe position, you have this knob right here, which is going to help you dial in how much cut you want in that high frequency sweep portion of the wah tone. So again, special limited edition, you get some glow-in-the-dark elements, this really cool raw iron look to the case. It's got a very cool, darker tone to it, and definitely check it out if you want a pedal that sounds something like all those great Alice in Chains riffs that we love. From From Sonicake, we have the Flip Wah. Don't let Sonicake's more accessible, budget-friendly approach to guitar effects scare you away. This is a rock-solid pedal that sounds really good, and the coolest thing about this is actually 2 pedals in one. You get both a volume pedal as well as a wah pedal, and you know that when wah pedals and volume pedals have to be big enough for your foot, they tend to take up more real estate on your pedal board. So if you're looking for maybe your first wah pedal, this is a great option because you get to then experiment also with all the cool things that a volume pedal can do. This display right here at the heel of the pedal will tell you whether or not you are in wah mode or volume pedal modes. In addition to the typical input and output, you do have a through jack on this pedal as well, so you could send an unaffected signal to a tuner and maybe do some silent tuning if you have the volume pedal cranked all the way back so there's no signal going through. Also, you do have a Q control, so you can control that filter peak and adjust the wah sound to your personal taste. If you've never had a wah pedal or a volume pedal and you're curious about experimenting, pick up this one as your first one, or if you want something that's not going to break the bank and you're an experienced wah user, the Flip Wah is definitely a good option. From Dunlop, we have the Crybaby Junior pedal, and don't let the name Junior fool you. This is a full-out wah pedal with a ton of features, but it was designed in conjunction with Pedal Train, so you can fit this on your board in an economical way when it comes to space. Now, a couple notable features that are gonna help you do that is that it's the perfect length to fit on the rails of almost every single one of the Pedal Train pedal boards. No longer you're gonna have the toe over your wah hanging over into that void or something like that. It's gonna be rock solid when you mount it to your Pedal Train pedal board. Also, they've thought of everything here. All of the jacks, input and output, and power are on the front of the pedal as opposed to being on the side. So you can bring pedals closer together to it and make sure that you're efficiently using the real estate, that precious real estate on your pedal board. Also, almost hidden on the right side of the case is a 3-position toggle switch that gives you 3 of the most classic and sought after Crybaby wah tones. The first gives you the aggressive tone of the CBJ95. The second gives you that mid-range growl of vintage wah pedals. And the third gives you a much darker, more rich wah tone than you would traditionally get out of a Crybaby. So there you have it, 6 great examples of one of the most fun guitar effects out there, the wah wah pedal. Check out any one of these 6 and I think you're gonna be happy. They all kind of fill a different role, they're in different price ranges, but they all are a really good take on that classic wah sound. If you haven't subscribed to the Premier Guitar YouTube channel yet, make sure you do so you don't miss anything in the future. Once again, my name is Tom Butwin here for Premier Guitar, and I will see you in the next one.